So this is Parenting with
Phil Edwards.
and Rebecca Finlason. How do you disagree with that parent now that you're apart? Because it's one of the things that when you're criticized as a parent, even if you're not being criticized or if it's just an opinion, automatically your back goes up. It's like, what are you saying? I'm doing something wrong? Especially with somebody that you've separated from.
Yeah.
I think that animosity towards your spouse or ex-spouse riles its ugly head when you talk about things you don't want to talk about.
So disagreements often feel personal. And
Yeah.
when you don't have the same opinion, because other matters often not resolved, it triggers and opens up all these things. So all of a sudden now, if I wanted to make a decision on vacation and the other parent says, no, that's not a good idea, it often gets interpreted as, oh, so you think I'm dumb? You think I don't make good decisions? And so that's what we carry sometimes when we don't resolve matters. If we didn't agree on things, it wasn't the matter at hand. It was always the issues that were unresolved.
And I'm going to want you to put on your interpersonal communication hat.
Here it comes, here it comes.
How do we what interpersonal communication tips can we use to get through this issue?
Big picture, small picture. The first thing that comes to mind is, the phrase that was told to me, what is in the best interest of the child? And I'm not trying to sound too clinical when I start to speak this way, but we have a disagreement. I think this, you think that. And what really matters is, how does this benefit the lifestyle of the children? Does it make their lifestyles an experience that, even if I'm not going to be present for, they now get to see a new part of the world or try a new activity? And sometimes as the outside parents, you feel that. And I guess that's the different roles we play. You lived with your children all the way through.
Yeah.
I've had to play that role of, okay, I'll see you on the weekend or I'll see you next week. That outside feeling of, I miss you boys or I miss my children, it's a different experience. And I think that that's what, maybe you can speak to that, because
Yeah.
what happens is, oftentimes the parent who is no longer living in the home often feels that, whether it's a sense of guilt, a sense of absence. When I was first called the absent parent, I wanted to shred up all the documents. And so the terms such as absentee parents, I think we need to remove those terms.
Yeah.
Because I was very present and I'm still very present.
I have the flip side. My kids live with me all the time. And I do have a resentment because their dad is the fun dad. He's a vacation parent.
Right.
So I'm the one that has to do all the disciplining. I have to do all the tweaking of behavior. I
homework,
don't
the doctor
have adult
appointments.
life. It is literally, I'm a 24-hour parent. And I do have that resentment that, you get to be the fun parent and I need to have some fun too.
Right.
And then you have that resentment that you get them all the time and that you don't like to be this absentee parent. So we're having this discussion with each other,
Yes.
but why is it so hard to have this discussion with our others?
And the challenge comes from unresolved matters.
Yeah.
I have no grievances with you. You have no grievances with me.
Yep.
And so I don't have to worry about, wait, hold on, it's a new dress you have on? These are things that take place when there are matters that are that tense,
So that's an unresolved issue.
unresolved.
And that's the thing with divorce. Once you are separated, you haven't solved the issues and you're still parents. You've just now said it's done.
A colleague of mine, it's great to have mentors, and a mentor of mine told me when I was complaining about child support and how much money it was, he said, make more.
Yeah.
And it sounds like two simple words, and I'm not trying to dismiss anything that anyone is experiencing, but he said that because I was running from making more money and I was upset about how much was going away, and I will never agree with that amount. Let's be honest. I came to terms that I was not happy with the amount of my income and how it was impacting my life. And yes, I was carrying that, but I had to change my perception. And perception is everything. If I change the perception of, well, as much as I make more, as much as I'm giving more, I don't have this ceiling over my head that could prevent me from earning more money. And then I also shifted by watching their lifestyles.
Oh, yeah.
And so that shift by doing as much as I can when they were with me, and I wasn't just seen as a money guy. You see, if you tell yourself that I was just a money parent, then you're going to feel like just a money parent. But I made sure that my children had a lifestyle with me, with my family. I was a part of their experiences as well. I didn't just do things when they were with me on my side. I tried to attend every function as much as possible. And so I was a part of their lives, whether I had $1 in my pockets or I had no money. I made sure that I wasn't known as just the money guy.
And that's interesting because I have the flip problem. I have to be the one to work harder, find more money.
Okay.
But I want to big up my lawyer. He kept, even in that anger and everything that was going on, I kept saying, he keeps winning. And you know what he kept saying to me? This is not a win or lose. Everybody loses.
Right.
This is a situation where it's the best interest of the child. And I'm going to say it took time for me to realize it. Because I had to cut a deal in order for the best interest of my child, which was not in the best interest of me. It would just cause me more stress to work harder and everything. But at the end of the day, it was in the best interest of the children. So nobody lost.
You know, I'm glad you shared that, because I'll speak on behalf of many experiences from the male perspective. I'm a part of a group called Fathers for Fathers, and I'm going to shout them out. Fathers for Fathers has done amazing things for many men. And a lot of the experiences have been, I've walked into this courtroom and I get beat up. I walk into this courtroom and it's an unfair advantage. And some of that comes from not knowing the system. My best suggestion has been, find mentors. Find people who have similar experiences, and this is what perhaps this show will do.
Comment below or send us a message on the page, because we're here to help. You don't want to have to make it public. You can send us private messages. Absolutely. And we're more than happy to touch on it, because you're right. I felt the same way. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I had to change my perspective. Find that strength and find that mentor, find your friend, find the positive friends around you.
Yes, because there's a lot of negative friends. Don't use the...
That will rile you up and say, oh, that's such unfair. How could he do that to you? Or how could she do that? Oh, and they're just riling you up.
The children are not a tool.
No. Know that whatever you provide, they actually see it. They see, you don't need to tell them what happened. You don't need to tell them, oh, I got the raw end of the deal. They see it. They see a lot more than we think. What they want to see is you smiling every day. If you look back at children of single moms, and I hear this a lot, and they said, my mom sacrificed everything and still came home with a smile on her face no matter what. Positivity has helped me a great deal to get through what I've been through. Positivity, being thankful. No matter how bad it gets, you can find something to be thankful for. Even if it's just waking up in the morning, it works. It puts you in a better mood, because at the end of the day, it's over. You're no longer with this man, you're no longer with this woman as a couple.
True. And
I'm stressing that big time, because we're still parents together, and they are still the father of your children, who children have unconditional love.
Yes. And with that also, there are chapters to this. And so, you know, what your child might need from you at 2 will be different from what they need from you at 12. And that doesn't end. 22, 32, you name it. So there are stages and chapters, and the first early stages might be very difficult. I mean, depends on when the breakup and the deterioration takes place. But there will come a time that I've actually heard many fathers say that I was consistent. And I will encourage all parents, not just on the male side, be consistent, be present, and be available. Because that phone call to mommy or daddy, even if you haven't talked in years, suddenly I need you. And you can't hold that resentment and say, oh, so I called you all these years and you never pick up the phone. Be ready.
Definitely. And the other thing is, don't be jealous. I'm kidding. I've been jealous. I've been jealous of them saying they did this with their dad and this with them. And I'm just like, and I have to squash the thought. Yeah, well, he can afford it, you know. And I have to squash that thought, because it's wrong to think that way. It's, you just find your way to do things. Even if you can't do anything for them, your kids see it.
Yes.
They'll say, Mom, no. They've said it to me. They've said, well, I'm sorry I can't take you here because I don't have the money to do it. Yeah, but Mom, you provide for us. We see it.
And that I would call, don't be bitter, be better.
Yeah,
you have to be better. You have to work on being a better person. So yes, the relationship ended and it could have been all these flaws you saw in yourself, but you can't stay there. You have to do better. Make a list of things that make you a better person. Not just a better parent, because you're more than just a parent. And become a better person.
And that's the discussion that we have to have.
Absolutely.
So this is Parenting with
Phil Edwards
and Rebecca Finlason. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next week.